problem with the thing is it just kept shitting all over the house. I mean, I tried to train it, but it just kept shitting. Well, I put up with it for as long as I could until one day the little bitch snapped at me.
Call daddy, tell him 25 got it. Call daddy, tell him 25 got it. Call daddy, tell him 25 got
What's good, everybody? Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. Y'all, we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 17. And the name of the episode is called All Bark, No Bite. Okay? It's also the season finale. Gizelle lied. Plain and simple. Gizelle lied. When they did the promotion for season 9 of The Real Housewives of Potomac, I remember Gizelle every time she was sitting down going around saying that the finale of The Real Housewives of Potomac season 9 would be better than Salt Lake City. Not this season of Salt Lake City that just ended, last season of Salt Lake City, season 4, and better than any finale that we have seen in Real Housewives history.
Y'all niggas done lost your mind. Might as well not even talk about this shit no more.
And that was not the case. Was it a shit show? Sure. Literally. But it was not the best finale of any Housewives show that we've ever seen. By far. Okay? But all in all, the episode was, I guess it was, I don't really think that the episode was good, if I'm being honest with you. Because I don't feel like that I just don't think that it was a good episode, in my opinion. Okay? But the episode started off with Karen. Karen is at her house. She, I guess, getting some clothes and stuff ready for Stacey's event, okay? We learned that Karen now is going to adopt 2 dogs, and she's going to name them Grand and Dom, okay? Karen. I think it's so funny that every time somebody gets ready to do something on the show, that Karen kind of steals their idea. And everybody goes up for Karen. She's a fan favorite. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's so funny how people just can't see through Karen. So, for instance, when Wendy did the candle, when Wendy came to Karen about the candle, she all of a sudden now was going to be doing the candle, and it was going to be 3 wicks. Remember that? When Gizelle did her charity event, now all of a sudden Karen was receiving an award that day. You know, and she kind of pulled everybody to her event. And then now we got this thing going on with Stacey. And now all of a sudden she already adopted 2 dogs. And she only adopted the 2 dogs as a dig at Stacey, because she didn't want to adopt from the people who Stacey had is doing her charity with. Okay? But basically, Wendy tells Karen that, you know, she is starting season 2 of the Wendy show, or the Dr. Wendy show, and she's going to go to the White House to interview Karine. What is Karine's last name, y'all? Don't drag me. Karine Jean-Pierre. She's going to be interviewing her, and she wants Karen to come to the White House with her, okay? Karen is excited, and Karen says in a confessional that she has more in common with Wendy than most people would think.
I don't know. Take what you want from that. That's what he said.
All
Wendy, I love the faces.
But girl, do you really? Or are you just saying that because she's bringing you to the White House? Because you said that Wendy was not of Potomac. That's what you said. You said that Wendy was not of Potomac. She didn't really fit the Potomac mold. And honestly and truthfully, I remember when Wendy came to the show, you couldn't really stand her. So now y'all got a lot in common? Girl, please. I love it. But Karen is that type of girl, though. She is that type of girl. Next, we got Stacey. So she's filming with her best friend, AJ. AJ is giving drugs, okay? But, you know, Stacey is just a stunt queen. I see through Stacey. I see what she did here on this show. and I ain't buying it. Okay. Now, AJ said that Stacey has changed, that she's all prim and proper now. It's hard for me to see Stacey as anything else. I do think that she did a good job on this show presenting herself in a certain way of, being like this prim and proper, classy type girl. I think that she did a good job of doing that on this show. Um, she's telling AJ about her relationship with TJ. For me, I feel like every time I see Stacey, when she talks to the girls about TJ, or she talks to anybody about TJ, even with her aunt, and now she's doing it with um AJ, I feel like that she's deliberately planting seeds or giving details about her relationship with TJ to make you think or question TJ, kind of look at him suspicious or with skepticism. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that she's deliberately trying to put stuff out there about him so that the person that she's talking to can like side eye him. I feel like that she's doing that, and I feel like that she did that with AJ. And I think that she brought AJ on the show to bring one queen on the show to cancel the other queen out. Okay, I'm not fooled by her. AJ basically said that TJ is a cornball, and girl, this man is a queen. Girl, get him out of here. Get rid of him. Okay. Now I forgot to tell y'all, word on the street. You know what I'm saying? I keep my ear to the ground. Word on the street is that at the reunion, Wendy exposed that TJ told Eddie that he was not at the reunion because he was being rented by Stacey, and she missed out on the two last payments that she was supposed to make for him to appear on the show. And so that's why he didn't show up at the reunion. That's the word on the street. Okay. I definitely could believe that. Again, I feel like Stacey had everybody. I feel like that she purposely bought TJ on this show, and everybody would be talking about him and his sexuality, and everybody would forget what was going on with her and her home life. And I definitely believe that happened. We'll never know until we see it. But if that's the truth, do we think that Stacey ought to be gone from the show? I don't like that the girls coming on the show. I think, I feel like when we have some type of reality TV, people are not going to put their 100% truth out there. But I feel like because we're going to talk about Kay in a minute, right? Well, let's just go ahead and, for example, I don't think that Kay was been more buying a house with Greg than a man on the moon. You know what I'm saying? I think that was something she said for the show. I really believe that Kay probably had an apartment somewhere or a house that was, that was okay to live in, but it wasn't reality TV worthy of a show. And I believe that that's what the storyline with her and Greg was, that she was going to say that they was moved in together until they got their new house. I don't believe that to be true at all. But I think that but I do believe that they was in a relationship. But once we get to paying men to be on the show to say that this is your man is a whole different ballgame. And I just think that's just unacceptable. And I think that should be immediate termination. I do. Okay. Next, we got Ashley. Ashley is still on the counter. This is the season finale. I thought that she was going to have to show her kids. I thought that she was going to show that her kids had manners, and she wasn't going to put them on the counter. But the kids are still on the counter. It's Uncle Lump's wife, Monica's birthday, and so Sheila come over. I didn't really see who the other girl over there was, Sheila, but I know that's not Ashley's sister. I seen Ashley's sister before, but that wasn't Ashley's sister. So we got Ashley, Uncle Lump, Monica, Sheila. Monica's daughter wasn't even there, and we got Dean and Dylan. They all there. Ashley shares that she has a very big milestone, that by next week she'll be officially divorced. Now she's gonna get access to the money. Okay. And she's talking about her relationship with Josh. Her family is telling her, basically don't jump into anything. Get to know Ashley. And if it's meant to be, he'll be there once you get to know Ashley. So she's FaceTiming Josh. The family is speaking. He's speaking to everybody in the family, telling Monica happy birthday. And Dean tries to speak to Josh, but she didn't let Dean speak to him. She said, Mommy's talking to a coworker. Because, Michael didn't agree that the kids, well, they agreed that I don't think Michael has met Josh yet. And Michael didn't want the kids meeting anybody. The agreement was that the kids wouldn't meet anybody that the other parent hasn't met yet. They wouldn't bring the kids around any other spouse. But I just find it hard. I mean, maybe because Ashley says that her and Josh has been getting it in, and if Josh has came over to the house, I'm sure the kids have met Josh. In my opinion, or maybe she wait until the kids go to sleep. I don't know. I love Ashley, but she really didn't have a storyline this season or anything that we can really tie up. Only thing that she really told us in the scene was that, her and Michael will be getting a divorce by the end of next week. You know what I'm saying? And she really went through her whole divorce process, and we didn't walk her through her journey. We didn't really anything. It was really pointless, right? We knew that she was getting a divorce. This has been going on for probably 2 or 3 seasons at this point, and we didn't go along with her through her process. So it was really pointless of bringing her back or trying to make this a storyline. But I don't know. I feel like that, this would be the perfect time. And I like Ashley, but I think after this divorce, there's really no need for us to bring Ashley back to the show. I mean, I think that she's one of the girls who will call the other girls out, but I just don't see anything interesting about Ashley. But I will say this, it seems like since Ashley has divorced Michael, her style, she has been dressing lately. Mama has been looking good lately, and I do got to give her that.
Yeah. Got money. Yeah. All right.
But I just don't know what the storyline. Maybe the producers see something I don't see. I do like Ashley. I just don't see a need for her to come back to the show after this season. Next, we got Dr. Wendy. Okay, Wendy is in Washington, D.C. Again, she's interviewing Karine Jean-Pierre for the Dr. Wendy show. It's supposed to be the premiere episode, but I don't think that was the premiere. I believe it was Just Hilarious was the first episode, and then it was Jean-Pierre. I don't remember. But, Karine Jean-Pierre is the first Black White House press secretary and the first queer White House press secretary. Okay? But Jean-Pierre took her on a tour of the White House, and I saw a piece of paper that said Wendy, Osefo, and crew. So it seems to me that Wendy was able to get 5 passes for other people to come to the White House. And she said, absolutely not. I'm not bringing these other girls. These other girls don't even really like me like that. I'm bringing my husband, my 3 kids, and I'm going to bring 1 other housewife.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. God, that's what I'm talking about.
And I love that Dr. Wendy did that. Because them girls don't really like her. Karen don't even really like her. I love that she took this time in this moment for her and her family and her husband and bought just 1 other housewife instead of bringing the rest of them in there. I do. Karen said that she was honored that Wendy chose to bring her. And, Karine, she knows who Karen is, and she even called her the Grand Dame. You know what I'm saying? I do think it's, everybody, Karen is the fan favorite of Potomac, and people love that Grand Dame name of Karen, even though it's a joke. You know what I'm saying? But Eddie's there with the kids. Eddie really does seem to be happy for Wendy that she got this interview, and Eddie used it as a moment to motivate the kids, saying that they can really do anything that they want to do if they put their mind to it. Next, we get back to Stacey. She's hosting this event, the Shrubber Pups. She's hosting this event with TJ. Okay, so she's making TJ work. Stacey got a new hairdo. It looked like a raggedy version of the Beyonce Drunken Love wig. I thought that Stacey looked a mess, but I'm not surprised. I think that me looking at Stacey is not really, again, if I knew Stacey in everyday life, I would probably respect her, but I don't think that me and Stacey would have anything in common. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that she would be like somebody that I would like hang with and be friends with. But I'm not surprised that this is what Stacey finds cute. You get what I'm saying? She asked TJ, did he like her hair? And he said, if you love it, I like it.
Read, honey.
You know, basically, I don't like it. But, you know, if you're comfortable with it, and that's how I feel about most things, even when people don't ask me if I like what you got on or not. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got the confidence to walk out the house with it, who am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm not wearing it, you know? So don't ask me. um, they are, I believe that Stacey was speaking to Vivian and they were speaking about Karen, and they said that Karen is coming to support the cause. Karen is not coming to support the cause. Karen is only coming to this event because she knows it's going to be the season finale, and she's trying to get paid. Okay, and if Karen was going to pick up no dog and walk, or I would have even let her bring Grand and Dom if she already had them. She could have came and she would have walked down the runway with Grand and Dom. But other than that, she would not be on at the season finale at my event if she wasn't walking my show. Okay. Karen showed up. She had on a nice dress. Karen had her back out. Karen, baby, that back is every bit of 63. Karen looked good though, but it's certain places of the body where you can look youthful, and there's certain places you can't lie about. On the hands, you can't lie about on the hands. With the neck, you can't lie. And Karen had her back out. You know, it was a lot of back out. We don't seen Karen with her back out before, and it looked about 52. But this time, Karen had the whole back out, and the back looked about it. It looked every bit of 63, maybe 65. Okay. They get to the event. Stacey pulls Karen to the side, and she wants to ask Karen, why do they have a problem? And Karen tells her, I have no problem with you getting to know the other girls. You know what I'm saying? But Mia went in on my character. And I don't really care what Mia says. I care about what my friend does or doesn't do. And Stacey says, I stood up for you in Lake Norman. Okay. And they wrote the beautiful bean footage, and she did stand up for Karen in Lake Norman. But Stacey, you kind of stood up for her a little bit, and then you questioned her. But there's nothing wrong with you questioning her, because I remember you did stand up for her. But when you went to the in the living room with Stacey and Kiana, you asked her, girl, do you have a drinking problem? Girl, did you go to rehab? And Karen looked at you like, girl, I got you. I got you, bitch. That's what I saw. Karen said that she never seen Stacey stand up for her with her own eyes. I'm trying to think, have we ever seen? I don't think that we haven't seen it. For sure, I don't think that we've seen Stacey stand up for her in front of Karen with her own eyes. But Karen, she has stood up for you. But Karen tells her girl etiquette 201, zip it. You know what I'm saying? Zip it. But Karen really do think she's in charge of the girls, and I do feel like that she thinks that she's in charge of the girls because she bought Stacey on the show, so she really wants to run Stacey, and she expects blind loyalty from her. But then Karen gets her confessional, and she brings out a scarecrow. And I just think that these antics from Karen, they just ain't hitting, especially with what you have been accused of and that body cam footage coming out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that Karen really thought that she was going to be vindicated, that she was going to be found not guilty, and no body cam footage was going to be released. But even if she was found not guilty, wouldn't the body cam footage be released? I believe so. Because when they have a trial, once you have a trial, everything is up for public. It's public record now. So that's why the body cam footage came out. So no matter what, girl, we were going to see the body cam footage if you took the case to trial. I just don't understand. Karen think that everything is a joke. I'm not buying them tears at the reunion. I'm not buying it. Stacey tells Karen, you attacked me as a mother. And Stacey says, I have no allegiance to Karen. And so now Karen is telling her, girl, you got your raggedy ass. And she was like, girl, raggedy, I'm classy. And she said, I'm not talking about how you are. I'm talking about how you dress. And she said, oh, really, Karen, what are you sipping? And Karen said, hard liquor. Okay, child. So Karen back to drinking. Um, and so Stacy tells Karen, "You're heading towards my accusations. Talk about your accusations." So now Karen is in a confessional saying that Stacy drove through the same stop sign 3 times. But was she drunk? Did she hit a tree? That's not the same thing. Did her car blow up?
That's a no.
It's not the same thing, Karen. You are really trying to deflect, and it's not the same thing. But Stacy says she's never been into a courtroom. You know, there is a stop sign by my house. I run a stop sign all the time if I don't see nothing, no other cars on the street. You know what I'm saying? You are deflecting, and her running a stop sign is totally different from her hitting a tree, getting into hitting a tree, totaling your car, and your car catching on fire, and you being drunk. It's totally different. Okay? Karen tells Stacy that she has been demoted, that she is not a friend, and she is an associate. Okay? But good thing for Stacy, it's not up to Karen because Karen probably would have gave her a friend of on the show. Okay. Next, the girls start to show up. Giselle bought a dress that Wendy picked out. Okay. So what happened was Stacy didn't want Wendy to get a dress from Vivian because the dress was nice and she didn't want to be upstaged. So Giselle went and got the dress, right? And I don't really think that's a good look for you either, Giselle, because I mean, it's giving credence to Wendy really is that girl here in Potomac because it seems like you don't have style and now you're inspired by something that Wendy picked out. Because it wasn't lost on me that the dress that Giselle wore to the reunion is basically pretty much almost the same dress or a replica of the dress that Dr. Wendy wore in the season 9 promo. It's a different color and it's a different cut, but it's pretty much the same dress that Wendy had on. Okay. Um, the girls show up. Kiana was there. Kiana looked good. You know I love her updo. Kiana looked really, really good. She shares with her and Greg are in an interesting place and that they're taking a step back. Ashley comes in and she tells Giselle about the conversation that she had with Stacey. It was the same conversation that Stacey had with Mia, where she told Stacey to avoid Dr. Wendy, that she was self-absorbed and she was not a girl's girl, and Mia was not of Potomac. Okay. Giselle said that she told Wendy that Karen was trashing her behind her back, and Wendy didn't believe it because it came from Giselle, as she should though. I believe that she shouldn't have believed it. Okay, but with Karen, I would believe anything somebody come and tell me with Karen because I believe that Karen is an alcoholic. I do. Um, so Giselle and Ashley pull Karen to the side and ask Karen, did she say those things? And Karen says, does that sound like me?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? What do you mean? It sounds like you, okay? Wendy arrives, her outfit was cute. I wish it would have been a different hair, baby. Wendy was walking, baby. And to me, it's so funny because I feel like when Wendy be doing the most, Eddie be right there with her, like, yeah, do it. Because Wendy was shredding when she walked up in there, baby. Wendy was giving the girls body, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Um, and they asked Stacy right in front of Wendy. You know what I'm saying? Did you say that Karen said this and Stacey repeated everything word for word in front of Karen and Wendy? She said, girl, you said that Mia is not of Potomac. You said that Wendy was self-absorbed, that she's not a girl's girl, and that she would never be my friend. And it's so crazy because Wendy had just walked into Wendy wasn't even in the room, made it into the building for 5 minutes, and they already started stuff with her. Okay? Karen denies it. Okay? Wendy said that she was upset because she has been loyal to Karen. You know what I'm saying? Wendy got in her confessional and she said, I don't think that Karen said it. I know that Karen said it. And you better know it, Wendy. You better know it. Okay. So now they get all of the girls, they sitting down at a table. And she tells Karen, girl, we met at your favorite mom and pop shop, Tally Holes. And Karen now all of a sudden remembers the conversation or meeting with Stacey. And Wendy is saying that she told Karen, I rolled for you and I've been a good friend to you. And Karen acknowledges it. And Wendy tells her, I want to feel like if I'm not in the room, that you are riding for me. And she says in her confessional, I've been a good friend to Karen. And I feel like that Wendy has been a good friend to Karen this year. I feel like it's been kind of performative. I feel like that Wendy has made it a point to get into the confessional and get into the camera and be a friend to Karen for two reasons. One, because she doesn't have Candace here anymore. And number two is because she knows that Karen is a fan favorite.
Yup, 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 yup.
And Wendy wants to be an it girl and she wants to be a part of the winning team. And so that's why I think she was performing like, oh, Wendy, Karen's not here to defend herself. She wants to be seen as a ride or die and a friend to Karen. But Wendy basically says in her confession, girl, if Karen had my life, she'll be self-absorbed too. And not really trying to absorb all this alcohol. Okay? That's what I heard. Okay? Stacey says that she's been holding in what Karen has been saying about everyone. And everybody at the table was like, girl, what she been saying about everyone, what she said about me, girl, run it. Run it. And Karen is pissed. She's standing on, I didn't say that stuff about Wendy. Karen, you said it. You said it. And I do believe that you said the stuff about Mia too, not of Potomac, because that's what you said about Wendy the first season. Karen definitely said those things. And I believe that I don't care what y'all say. It ain't a person that watched this show can tell me they don't believe Karen said that. Even Karen, biggest fans know that Karen said this. Okay. So the fashion show goes on. The girls look nice. I thought that Wendy and Kiana, I thought that they and Jazzy, I thought that they looked really, really nice in their outfits that they walked the dogs with. And so just like any other fashion show, everybody comes out at the end and fog was dispensed from a fog machine and the dogs got scared and literally started shitting everywhere. Okay? The dogs started shitting everywhere. And the whole event turned into a shit show. People was running out the room. Karen looked like she was throwing up. I think that Karen was throwing up because she was drinking on some hard liquor and she hadn't had it in a while because she had been trying to show that she was sober in front of the girls. But it was a literal shit show. And so they end up, you know how they do at the end, at the season finale, they try to show us everything that the girls have been going through. Kiana, it says that Kiana tried to move into her new house with Greg and she moved out soon after, but she is still expecting a ring. Kiana, you mean to tell me that you went half on the house with Greg? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about a lie that's probably acceptable, right? Because I believe that she was in a relationship with Greg, but I do not believe that they was buying a house together. I believe that she probably was living in an apartment somewhere or a space that was nice. Again, I think that she was living in a space that was nice, but not nice enough for reality TV. And I'm being honest, and I'm not trying to tear down Greg, but I don't think that Greg's house was even nice. And I believe that if she had a place that was nicer, she wouldn't dare be caught filming over there in Greg's house. Because Greg's kitchen and stuff look outdated. And you know, the people, the viewers and stuff online, they want to look. They're going to look and see. And his kitchen and stuff seemed outdated. His house didn't really seem that nice neither. I mean, we only shot 2 scenes in the living room and the kitchen. And we didn't really see nice from that. We already know everything that happened with everybody else. Oh, I forgot. Gizelle earlier, she talked about her dad. Her dad always came to Potomac and put up the Christmas tree and decorated the Christmas tree with the girls. And now they wanted to plant a tree in the backyard in memory of him. Okay? They didn't have a hole in the ground. I think that Gizelle could have at least already got somebody to come over there and put a hole in the ground. And they could just put the tree out there and put something on there in memory of their dad. But please, okay? But Gizelle said that she has been going through a lot. that she sent Grace off to college, her dad died, and now the twins are going off to college. That is literally what happened to my mom, right? My mom sent me off to college right after my freshman year in college. My grandmother, at the end of my freshman year in college, my grandmother passed away. And then my brother graduated and went off to college, and my sister graduated and went off to college, and my mom was an empty nester, you know? Um, and so at least my mom had one child at home because my sister, even though my brother and sister are twins, she was held back in the third grade. So she had 1 year where she had one child at home, but it was all it's the same thing. Like once we started going to college or whatever, my mother was alone. She didn't have my grandmother there anymore. But Gizelle says that, I used to be a first lady, and it's a Bible verse that says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Okay. But she's basically an empty nester. Ashley, they didn't say at the end that her divorce was final, but we know that her divorce is final now. And they saying something about healing and thriving, child. Wendy is teaching a reality TV course at Wesleyan University, and she is absorbed in her own life. And who else did they have? Kiana. Okay, we talked about Kiana. Stacey is in the final stages of her divorce, so we probably come back on the show next season. If she's coming back, we probably hear about her divorce. But girl, we don't know. They with Stacy, but Karen, 5 months later, remember I told y'all I believe that Karen purposely moved that court date back so that she wouldn't have to be found guilty during the season, or that the trial wasn't going on during the season. And she was found guilty. The verdict was reached, and she was found guilty, and the body cam footage was released to the public. And she faces 2 years in prison. So she will be sentenced later on this month. Do I think that she's going to jail for the whole 2 years? Absolutely not. But with the second DUI, I do believe that she's probably going to get like 30 days in jail. I do believe that. But all in all, I do think that the season was an okay season. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. I thought it was an okay season. Um, It was an okay season. Am I trying to convince myself? It was an okay season. It wasn't boring. I thought it was a lot of they had a lot of drama and stuff going on. I thought that Stacey was a good addition to the cast. I wish that we could have got to see more of Jazzy. I thought that she really had a lot of flavor when she first joined the show. I don't know. We didn't have a reason why she wasn't made full time, or why we only seen her for half of the season. I thought that Kiana was a snooze fest, and I don't want to see her on my screen again. But it's going to be very interesting in what we see from Potomac next season. It's going to be very interesting. But y'all, that's all I got for the Real Housewives of Potomac season 9. The reunion will be here in 2 weeks. Now, the reunion. Listen, I don't believe in this whole 2 week stuff now. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they did enough for y'all to be trying to give us 2 weeks before the reunion. But I will be there waiting to watch it. But thank y'all so much for clicking on the video. I appreciate the love and support, and I'll see y'all later. Adios.